Good morning and good evening. The 30 power always support President Duterte. Do the right thing. Be always safe and always be good. Look after yourself always and whatever your family. What I wanted to talk about today is completely a bit different. It's not about politics or anything like that. I just wanted to talk about most of society, what's going on these days, the young people, what it goes through most of it in their minds and what they do these days. So I was walking in the street today and some young kids they were doing a shootout, a video, and they asked me if I could be in it and to ask my opinion about YouTube videos and the music these days, if does the music and videos reflects into people's lives, and for the young people, if they take anything from those kind of bad words in music, videos and YouTube and some other stuff like that, and movies and this that. So they asked me also what kind of music I like and what I hear. So most of what I said it, or what I like, my kind of music, I do like from music from 70s, 80s and 90s. Reasons why most of those kind of musics, even if they have some, some words in it, so people that is not so much appropriate, but you cannot hear them saying, is a different way of saying some words which people doesn't get as a bad words. So but anyway, that's the kind of music most of I like. I love rock. I like rock also, and love songs and all that. Love Michael Jackson. I love most of the biggest stars from previous. These days, and already for a few years ago, people cannot do music or any kind of videos on YouTube without using swearing words. And rapping also gets into swearing words and do all this kind of stuff. So that's how music and people doing YouTube videos goes into, is all the time swearing. Not only that, just also people and parents and some other, like everyone else, most of these days what we say through our mouth is always, as you talk, is always F this, F that, always bad words, so does it affect, young kids these days? The attitude, the behavior, of course it does. We have so much going on, on these days and already for a few years going, which is like video games, is everything, a lot of stuff there. To play video games is about shooting, and stabbing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so is this appropriate? I don't think so. Doing music and rapping and all that kind of stuff, swearing and putting a lot of bad words in it, is this correct? Can't we do something clean? Can't we do something, normal as for being as a human and as a person, going forward with young kids these days, the way things are? Can't we have an education? How can we indicate kids these days when, all the countries and politics is not supporting and not doing anything about stopping like rapping and videos on YouTube and games and all that kind of stuff? Everything is about violence, so is anybody doing anything about this? Is anybody saying anything about this? I don't think so. Is anybody talking about, this is an inappropriate music, we shouldn't be putting that in radios, we shouldn't be putting that on the TVs and everything? But it's like, instead of that, it's like people is getting famous for it. You come with a video or a song or something which is a lot of bad words in it, and then people start singing that around the street, and then they think that is cool. So is our governments doing anything about it? No. Is this becoming normal? By the looks of it, yes. That's what is becoming normal. Video games, is a lot of violence in it. Your kids, young kids, is playing those kind of games. YouTubers, even these kind of famous YouTubers, what they do as a video tool for YouTube, and young kids, they're watching that. Can't you guys know, maybe your children, other people's children, they watch that, they can copy that. Plus, the way every time you guys talk is always, what the F this, what the F that, or like this, like that. Can't we talk clean? Can't we say some words, with a conversation, always clean? Do we have to be always making up something bad and dirty and stuff like that? Do we have to do that? Especially the people also who does YouTube, the commenters and whatever else. Again, songs from young girls from 13, or 13, 14, doing this kind of songs, bad songs, and the way they dress themselves and put themselves in it is disappropriate. But no, is this all about what? Being famous, always making money, or things like that. So the problem is that is young people, children who's watching those videos. Excuse me. Is it the fault? Guys might say, is it our fault? People and parents leaving their own kids watching this and watching that. In a sense, all of you who does YouTubing and rapping and movies and violent videos, of course, most of it, yes, the parents can prevent that, but also government and people can talk and do things more clean and don't have to swear, to make some video and a good video and become famous still. But we don't work that way these days, do we? All we do is like half naked, bad words, this, that, taking the mickey out of other people, and that's how you become famous. That's how you want to become famous. These days, people can do anything silly and then they become famous for something silly. A few years ago, this is not on the YouTuber, things like that, but if you do something stupid, people talk about it. If you do something good, not much people talk about it. You not become to be known about that, but you have to do something stupid and silly every day for you to make something. So today what I'm going to say on my YouTube channel, today I'm going to rap, I'm going to pick up someone to take the mick out of them. And then, like most of the YouTubers I can hear and see, because some people in my house, they watch that, and I would just think, what the heck, why are you guys wasting your time watching some idiots over here? Probably you're going to say, why I'm watching you the same as your idiot. I'm not talking bad. I just want to make a point of all the videos from YouTubers, the rapping and the music we do these days. All I would like to see and to hear is clean words, because we have children growing up, and all this country over here in UK, as we can see it, all these kids is going messed up out of their heads, because the only thing they have is their head on this kind of phone and the internet, listen to others, some people, they are really famous and making money and all that stuff, talking a lot of shit. And talking, every word they say is F this, F that, what the, like this, like that. So, for those guys who was doing this on the street today, those young guys doing the video, we just would like this to be changed. And for people, is it affecting people's lives these days? Of course it is affecting people in lives these days, because everything they can copy from some people which is famous, and they can follow that kind of path, which some people, they're famous, they're talking a lot of bad things, they're doing a lot of bad stuff, and you can go into a bad way growing up with that. And a lot of kids these days, all their faces is in computers. then sometimes you don't even know what your children will be doing or not. They are on their room, they have their TVs or they have laptops or they have phones. You never know what your child is doing and what he's listening to. And then your own parent doesn't even know their own children, what they are up to. We also have like people over here, you know, moving around, kids, young kids, anytime at night, going out, this, that. Why they are outside around those kind of late times, passing over the 10 o'clock? Is this correct? That's why it's a lot of things going on, a lot of people getting stabbed, a lot of people getting killed. Why? Because, you know, the mentality and what they hear, what they see on TVs and movies and then games and all this kind of stuff, it does affect people's lives. But is anybody caring about that? Is anybody thinking about that? Of course not. All they care is about everyone for themselves. Because making videos and then swearing and saying this and saying that, you know, is like, that's what people likes to go and do these days. Does anybody would like to hear something, you know, people talk normally and people talk clean, especially, you know, YouTubers? Of course not. Because every, you know, YouTuber, what they do is talking bad about others, slanging about others, talking a lot of shit about other people, swearing, and all that kind of stuff. Music, the same thing. Movies, the same thing. Games, also the same thing. So it gives ideas. A child, which is 3 years old or 2 years old, growing into this, what do you think it does to your mind? Does it do anything good to that person as growing up? Of course not. Depends the parents also, if they allow them. But if you don't allow your children like this, like that, what they're gonna do? It's not much to do except watching TV or playing games or being with your face in the front of your, your phone in the front of your face and doing stuff like that. So my point is like, what's going on these days, and government's not doing anything about it. Plus, YouTubers continue, talking bad, and for young children to watch that, also, yes, is the fault of the parents. Let the children watching those kind of rubbish. But my point would like to be, some people at least, to have the common sense of this to be stopped. Should be illegal. People swearing on the videos. Well, if you want to talk about something, you don't have to swear. You don't have to say bad words. You don't have to say anything. When you make a song, you don't have to swear. You can make a beautiful and wonderful song which people can enjoy and kids can hear it. And they don't have to be repeating what the singer is saying in it. And they think that is funny. And that it becomes a normal thing. Is it? So this is what's going on these days. This is how the society of these days is going. And nobody's doing anything about it. So people is getting lost. And on their minds, a lot of crimes are going on. Kids these days, they're wasting their lives, doing bad things for what reason? And then nobody does anything about it. Even the government does nothing about it. On the Philippines, this government, President Duterte, what he did, he started taking over and tell the parents, control your children. If you cannot control your children, then you are the one to tell the parents. Then you are the one who's going to pay for it. And what's happening in the Philippines and what our President Duterte said it. He said to them, if you cannot control your kids, and if they're not in the house at this kind of times, if we find any kids after 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock out on the streets, you're going to be penalized. They will give them a penalty to their parents. They will pick up the child, take it to their house, and they give them a penalty. I agree with that. That is really cool. Because we have people over here in UK out 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 12 years old, 13 years old. What they're doing on the streets at those kind of times. What they're doing. Does their parents know what they are doing? No. And then after they come to say, oh, my son, he was like this. Oh, my son is like, oh, my daughter was like this, like that. Because their own sons, their own daughters, they lie to their parents. They're going to stay in the friend's house. They're going to do this and that. And then sometimes, yes, they lie to their parents. But also it's the responsibility of the parents to know if their daughter or son is on with their friends and things like that. So I do agree with the President Duterte done. You know, control your children. Show them how it is. You know, discipline them when you have to. The only problem in UK, if you come to discipline your child, you know, you might go into prison if you slap your child, if you do something to your child or things like that. So how can you, you know, also teach your children if you cannot discipline? So we cannot win in anything in a sense. But I was really proud today of those three young guys trying to make a video. And you know, I wanted to do this video already for a long time, for the commenting about what goes on and what YouTubers say and that kind of lifestyle these days, and what people talk, the way we talk is not respecting in anything. Is not respecting. Nobody can respect each other, and this is what is getting worse and worse. So for them to push me today into that, it did remind me, do you know what, you guys are doing really cool, you are brilliant, and I do support that, and I hope, you know, you guys can continue with that, and then that can go somewhere else. And then that's why I decided today, you know what, I need to comment also about that, because that's something I don't see many people talking about it, mention it, and you know, nobody's coming forward to, you know, see what's going on today and what people doing, and the way videos commenting about YouTube, and young kids, they are watching everything. And sometimes, yes, it can be the parents, why the parents let them watch it. It's not our problem, it's not like this, like that. Yes, it is, you know, the parents would do so much, but we cannot control, you know, everything. But also the people that videos to a YouTube channel, or they going into production like TVs and radios and everything, it's about also the people from those kind of places to control. We don't accept this, we don't accept that, you cannot say this, you cannot say that. So it's about also the people who owns the YouTube to forbidding that. You can, from now on, you cannot talk bad. From now on, you cannot say bad words. From now on, you cannot say that. But is anybody from YouTube saying anything like that? I haven't heard anybody saying that. I haven't heard anyone talking about that and stopping that. But it's about these big companies, do something about it, you know, because young people, they are hearing that, they're, you know, repeating what other people are saying, and they're also doing bad things because they have other people, bad influence. So bad influence can hurt a lot of people. From now, be safe. The Duterte power, always support President Duterte, do the right thing and be safe. And I hope, you know, someone does something about it. And for those guys, they stopped me today. Thank you for that. I did appreciate it. You made me remind myself something, and for me to talk about something also. So hopefully this will be helpful also. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.